I'm about to download some messages that I got. So.
Cause it's some crazy on here. You hear me?
Oh, I love that picture. No home.
That's
No,
really nice.
that's Sharice. That's my partner. It's an old picture. It's
Tell
a
me when you
throwback.
have it on power.
Yes, ma'am. I'm loading it up now, sister.
While you scrolling.
Right. No, I had to get to this page. No, they don't do that. I had your back, Natalie. I'm just waiting on it to come over here.
Got to do with it.
All right, it's on power.
Thank you.
We should note that there are some people that are saying things like, I'm sorry for how I came at you.
So let's make sure we bring that up.
Yes.
Because they were tripping.
There's some good stuff on there on the DM. Them crazy people though.
Check, check, check.
Internet radio, Power 108.9.
You want to share your feed? You want to share the
You
power
want to
feed?
answer that, don't you? I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft glow just inches away. Someone wants to tell you something or ask you something.
Top of the year, but no.
Oh, come on. Answer it already. Just so we're clear, that wasn't my fault. Next time, ignore your inner voice. Don't text and drive.
Stay up on what's happening here at Power. We've got new shows, new guests, and new events that help us connect with the community. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at
His
Power
comments for Malik for his
108.9.
birthday.
You can also go to power1089.com to get all of the updated news and happenings here at Power. Thanks for listening.
You got some what was Sensei for me?
Looking to start your own radio show? Or maybe you'd like to be a guest on one of our current shows. You may even want to tell us what a great job we're doing or how we can do better. Simple solution. Email any requests, bookings, or suggestions to power108.9@gmail.com. That's POWER108.9. Now let's get you back to the show. This is your new favorite internet radio, Power 108.9.
If you're a content creator, social media socialite, influencer, or simply love to record current events, you need the joystick. The joystick is an essential tool for every type of digital content creator. It holds 2 or more mobile phones or tablets, allowing users to stream and record hands-free on multiple apps simultaneously. And it's lightweight and portable. For more information or to purchase your joystick today, visit our website at www.joystick.com.
Yo, it's Michael McFadden for our friends over at Credit Building Professionals. You know what they do? They help their clients achieve better credit. How? Late payments, fraud, liens, charge-offs, student loans. They do it all. Get results in 30 to 90 days, and it's very simple to contact them. Hit them up on their website, creditbuildingprofessionals.com, or give them a call, 678-447-2012. Once again, 678-447-2012. Tell them you heard it on Power 108.9. What up, Credit Craig?
Cheers, cheers. We are here, and that means it is 7 o'clock on Thursday. And you are listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. And I missed y'all last week. I was out there trick-or-treating with the minions. Well, I was probably drinking some wine while they were out trick-or-treating. Oh, you know what? Michael always being here messing with me. But listen, I'm back. I have a great show for you tonight. I have Miss Natalie Fikes in the building, and she has been under a little bit of heat. Okay, a little heat on social media. We're going to talk about that when we come back from the break, but I got to give some shout outs. I have to say happy 22nd birthday to Malik McFadden. Hey! And it is International Day, Merlot Day. And y'all know I don't like to cheers by myself. So I'm going to have to cheers my girl, Natalie. We're going to talk to her when we come back. Cheers! Oh, cheers. That ain't no Merlot. And then I have to give a shout out. Y'all know I keeps my nails done with my signature pointy finger because I be pointing at y'all. I be pointing. So I have to give a shout out to Miss Nally at Pure Bliss Nails off Satellite. And a shout out to my baby brother, Jamil. This is my real brother, my blood brother. You know I have some brothers out there from another mother, but this is my blood brother. Happy birthday. It is my birthday month, November 29th. I am accepting gift cards, hotel staycations, Visa debit cards, all of that. Bottles of wine at all times. You know you can never go wrong with that. But it's my baby girl's birthday on Tuesday, November 12th. Happy 8th birthday, Sin. I love you. We about to have this whole American Girl doll birthday weekend turn up next weekend. But we have a great show for you tonight. If you have been watching my posts and things like that, you know that Miss Natalie Fikes has been under some heat with some posts, and we are going to dive all the way into it. We're going to talk about it. There's some things I agree with, some things I don't agree with, and we're just going to put it all out there and hopefully calm this thing down a little bit. Oh, so listen, we're going to talk about all of that when we get back, and you know I've got that 7:30 cray, that 7:30 crazy for you at the 7:30 hour, as well as what would Sin say at the top of the 8 o'clock hour. So make sure you stay tuned in. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back. Hey, Aaron. Greg.
Y'all say hi.
Hey guys, let's see. Oh, hey Anita. I think it's Escarte. Hey Escarte. Ayana, Linda, Dell, Alvin. Hey y'all. I'm so glad y'all tuning in. Hey Matt. Y'all make sure y'all post any questions that you have. Oh, I see. Can you give me them phone number? I don't know. I'm glad you did, whatever that was. Whatever, whoever that was. Thank you, Jesus, for the screen.
Alright, hold on. You know that phone is blocking your view right now.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. I normally have on this side, but my eyelash, y'all. My eyelash.
With your eyelash.
But it was worse. I've been poking it. Listen, y'all.
But did you read the instructions?
Nope.
That has
Y'all make sure
everything
y'all-
to do with the stability.
I don't.
Make sure you all post your comments and things like that. If anybody sees my
Hey,
eyelash, I
Octavia.
dare you to talk about it. You better not talk about my eyelash today.
Come on, Natalie.
That eyelash coming on today.
Make sure y'all call in or what's the phone number?
678 383 2339.
678-383-2339.
That part. That part.
Eric, you funny.
Yes, I'm ready.
I said, you know what we come back in with?
What we come back in? Oh, Lord. Yes, thank you. I needed that. Welcome back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. Okay, listen, y'all. We gonna dive right into it. I have my girl, Miss Natalie Fikes. Miss Natalie Fikes. I'm gonna say, put some respect on her name. Oh, okay. Hey, say hey to the people.
Hey, people.
All right. We ain't gonna waste no time
Let's
because
go.
it's gonna take up this whole 2 hours,
Let it
okay? So you have been under some serious heat on social media. It started, I think, the beginning of October 19th, to be exact. You posted I'm gonna let you say the post because I don't want to say it wrong. Back on October 19th, you made a post. I think it started on Instagram first, but it may be Facebook where it took off.
They're connected.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell the people who don't know what that post said.
The post said, and I quote, "Wives, if you are not having sex with your husband, he is too backed up to hear you. His penis and his ears are on the same Wi-Fi. If you want to be heard, you know what to do."
Okay. So did y'all hear that? All right. So you posted that. So I'll be honest with you. When you posted that back then, I know you. I don't know if it's because I know you or what, but I knew what you meant.
Mm-hmm.
But when you posted it, it took a life of its own. That particular post had, I don't know how many likes and all of that, but it had over 13,000 comments. 13,000 comments. And basically, to sum it up, y'all, they were upset with you because they felt like you were not sensitive to those who have been in toxic relationships, abusive relationships, been raped, molested, sexually assaulted, and therefore you're telling them to forget all of that and go have sex with your husband. What are your thoughts? What would you say to those people right now that took that interpretation from your post? Okay.
You took that interpretation.
Okay.
That's the only response that I have. When someone, because it's the subtext that really, I think, really piss people off.
Okay. What do you explain?
And so the very first line says, wives, you are the only woman that your husband can get sex from.
Okay.
And I said things like, men need sex. I started quoting little things that men say.
Okay.
Because it was all from the male perspective.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, whoever said happy wife, happy life, complicated relationships forever. I can't remember the rest, but it's, yeah, the conversation was like, where, if he doesn't get it from you, who is he supposed to get it from? And it was all good until somebody
Okay.
posted it into a group
Okay.
and
so,
put a subtext on it that says, my body belongs to me. And if he, and it start, then they start coming in saying, because of the mentality of the group,
got it. Okay.
that it is rape and all this spousal rape and all that other stuff. And I have no idea. I didn't know.
So I was wondering, because I know it wasn't like that off the rip.
No.
It wasn't, because I was looking at, I mean, the guys were like, yes, thank you for speaking up and, to, you know, all of that. And it was a lot of support. And then all of a sudden it took a left turn. And I was like, how does it take a left turn?
The group, it had 35,000 members.
Gotcha.
And when they said, you don't get to tell me to have sex with my husband, just because he's my husband doesn't mean that I have to have sex with him.
Okay. So let's talk about the have to have sex. I think it was another post that you said that sex is for marriage. Yeah, so I think you mentioned that sex is for marriage. If he is not getting it from you, where is he supposed to get it from? And there's some women, I took a poll. I posted a few of your posts and a couple of your comments to see from my viewers, you know, what their thought process was. And I think for the withholding, let me look. For the post that says, I posted the one, you know, that particular
First
quote,
one.
but then my question was, is it ever okay to withhold sex from your spouse? I didn't put it on husbands only. You know, there are some men who withhold from their wives. It was close. It was 55. I have over 13,000 followers just on where I posted it. 55% said yes. There are some circumstances where you should be able to withhold sex from your spouse, and then 45% said no. There's never a time.
That's very interesting.
Now, of course, that is you know, a scenario where it would take more explanation than a yes or a no.
Absolutely.
But just on the, you know, the basic level. So, I'll let you answer that first. I think that you have answered in your post, but for those who haven't heard, what are your thoughts on withholding sex in a marriage? Forget about man, wife, you know, just the person, whether it's male or female. What are your thoughts on withholding sex from your marriage?
So withholding anything is not a part of marriage. You don't connect with someone for a lifetime to withhold anything.
Okay.
Anything that you do, because the two are one, it's a partnership. It should be discussed, agreed upon, so that there is no pressure. There's no, any of those gray areas, situations, because you've communicated that I'm sick, and you've communicated that, there has to be conversation about it. Because for me, when we're having a sex conversation or lack thereof, we're really not having a sex conversation or lack thereof.
Right.
Because there's something that comes before you wanting to or not wanting to be intimate with your partner.
Okay. So my thoughts on that is on the basic level, and then I'm going to read some comments after the break. But my thoughts on a basic level, you shouldn't be withholding, but it doesn't mean that you're saying yes every time, in my opinion. yes, every time he or she is like, I want some, in my opinion. Now, there are some scenarios where I feel as if withholding may be best for that period of time if, you are in danger, you have some abuse going on. I want to know from the listeners, what are some basic scenarios, not anything traumatic, not anything abusive, not anything no violation. Let us know what your thoughts are on some scenarios where withholding sex is appropriate. Now, when I say withholding sex, I'm saying we don't know when it's coming. I'm not talking about I'm tired tonight, but hey, let's do it in the morning kind of thing. I'm talking about you're withholding and you haven't been intimate with your spouse for a month, 2 months. I know people who have gone months, even a year.
The couple who I was sitting with the experience, it had been a year.
Okay. So I want you all to let me know that we're going to talk about this topic some more, because I want to make sure that the healthy disagreeers that we communicate what they're feeling about when you say withholding, when you say that we should be having sex with our husbands in order for them to give them what they need, and they'll give us what we want. I think that's what one of the things that you posted. No, that's not what you said.
In order to, words are very important.
No, I was talking about in a comment. You did mention give a man what he needs, and he'll give you what you want. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So we'll talk about that some more when we come back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back.
Huh? That's not. Yeah. Let's.
No, I would never say that if I.
Yeah.
See it with my eyes. Hey, Sean. Hey, Valentino. Hey,
Shan. There's a difference. No, seriously. There is a difference. She said I told her years ago that she was just mad at her husband and she's not sleeping with him. Like, they said no withholding. It's not good to withhold. Sex should be agreed upon. Absolutely. Not a matter of agreeing not to. It's a matter of agreeing it's time. A health concern, another person. Otherwise, sex is a basic need. Sex is not a bargaining.
Etienne, can you explain what's never appropriate so that we can discuss? Sex should not be used as a bargaining
If you're a content creator, social media socialite, influencer, or simply love to record current events, you need the joystick. The joystick is an essential tool for every type of digital content creator. It holds 2 or more mobile phones or tablets, allowing users to stream and record hands-free on multiple apps simultaneously. And it's lightweight and portable. For more information or to purchase your joystick today, visit our website at www.joystick.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. And I have my special guest in the building, Miss Natalie Fike. Say hey to the people once again.
Hey to the people.
And if you're just tuning in, we are discussing Miss Natalie Fike's popularity on social media as of late with some controversial posts that she made. We've been discussing, the one. Etienne, I want to see what she said. Etienne, and forgive me if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Meaning, it's never appropriate to purposely withhold. Oh, thank you for clarifying that. I agree.
Purposely.
And I think for those who were upset with Natalie, that is what she's talking about. She's not. Am I putting words in your mouth? Like, I think you weren't talking about withholding because someone's ill, withholding because someone's abusive, or anything like that. But you're talking about purposely withholding because you're upset or you're not communicating with the other person the way that you should, and therefore, I'm not having sex. Is that what you meant?
Right. So the purpose of the post was to provoke conversation. That was the purpose of the post. And so all of the statements that were made were statements that men say, like, if you give her what she want, then she'll give you what you want. Okay. Just if you want her to talk to you, if you want me to listen, then just give me sex. Like, all of them were just those statements that men say. And so if they're not getting it from women, then women need to respond to the post so that men can read and chime in on the conversation. Sure. That was really.
Okay. And Winter, if you could elaborate what you mean as well. I wanted to kind of get or call in. But Winter, if you could elaborate a little bit more on what you mean by that, according to what is she is elaborating on now, as well as the posts that you've read, so we can discuss as well. But I want to ask you, Natalie, okay, so I am very careful what I post because I'm not there to explain. I'm not there to clarify. I'm not there to know what space you're in at that point in time. Looking back, being in your profession, not do you regret, because I know you, but let me not
say that again for the people in the back.
But would you have worded it to where your message came across a bit where it wouldn't be misinterpreted?
No.
And explain why.
The intent is my responsibility. The interpretation is the responsibility of the receiver.
Okay, so now I agree with you on the initial post, right? But when you first heard the negativity, did it ever cross your mind to say, you know what, let me pull this down and repost because I want to be sensitive to those who have had trauma, even though this post was not for them?
No.
Okay, explain why that you wouldn't have that level of sensitivity.
Okay, so my post was for wives and husbands, right? In healthy relationships, it's all I know.
Oh, yes.
It's all I know.
Yes.
So when my whole purpose for creating the platform was to provoke the conversations that we don't have, that we need to have.
Okay.
And so when the conversation led to another conversation, I said, oh, this is what they want to talk about.
Okay.
So then I started having deeper conversations with people that were posting, and we started, because I don't know this space. So I start asking questions, and then over here, one person is saying something, and then over here, someone else is saying something else. So I said, wherever there's the gray, let me bring that up, because the gray is what people are uncomfortable with. Okay. So I screenshotted a specific conversation, which was, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If he touches you and you say no, and he this and he says no and whatever, do you consider that rape?
Okay.
And that's when it went that you're absolutely a rape supporter, because that is absolutely rape.
Okay.
In a marriage.
All right. So speaking of that, I took a poll. I posted that you just mentioned, that your post and their response. And I took a poll on that, and it was a 100%.
No means no.
No means no.
Absolutely. Nobody asked me what my
But I did see a comment that you made Because y'all, I scoured through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds.
Thousands.
Okay, because I wanted to have all perspectives.
Yes.
Yes.
Which one?
Huh? Hey, Sin. But you did make a comment where you addressed the you don't consider it rape if your husband, not a man,
Yes.
if your husband is warming you up. You've said no. You know, he's just trying to warm you up. He's just trying to, express his love, his attraction to you. You look like you want to explain.
That I specifically said that.
Yes.
There was one comment.
Yes.
Right.
Explain it.
Yeah. So they asked me, right? Remember, I come from healthy relationships. I think that is so key.
Okay.
So when he's touching me, I don't feel violated. I don't feel anywhere close to being violated. And his touches are still very soothing.
Okay.
It could be like, I'm tired, but
Yeah. Feeling a little good right now.
what I'm saying? And it was never like no or yes. It was just, I wasn't in that space, but because you touched me and your touch was healing, because we're in a healthy relationship, I was like, well, why not get a little Sudafed?
Sure.
You know.
Yeah. A little nightcap. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, we have to be very mindful that we draw assumptions and make value judgments about people's responses if we don't want to come from a place of I want to understand where you're coming from, and from two is that you don't know me, so you'd have to know where I'm coming from. I don't even have a rape mentality. When I think about relationships, I don't even know why I would be there.
Sure. I can understand that. But you mentioned assumptions and that they would have to know you. But wouldn't you think that's the same for you? That when you make a post like that you're assuming that the people who are reading or that are going to respond are coming from healthy relationships?
No, I can only post it from where I'm coming from. The topic is the conversation I'm trying to start. I know people are going to come from different places. I just did not know in marriages that people were being raped.
Okay.
To the degree that all you could think about is rape.
Okay.
When sex is brought up in a marriage.
Okay. So with that being said, in your line of work, when you realize that, wow, this is a news flash for me, this is new to me, it didn't ponder, like it didn't come to your mind to be like, you know what, let me pull back, because this is an area that I didn't know was present, and I don't want to be a trigger to anyone, or I don't want to, because of the line of work that you do, is what I mean. Like if you were just posting and you're just, work corporate somewhere, just a regular, not associated with changing lives of people on a professional level, do you think that it was wise or insensitive or whatever the word is to not pull back and say, let me take a minute to not try to explain, but let me just take a minute and pull back?
No.
Okay, and after we got this 7:30 crazy, okay? But listen, I want to know why, because I know you. Yes, I do. But they don't. And it is important to me for those people in general, but especially people who are hurting, to not misconstrue what I'm saying. So I want you to be able to, talk about that a little bit more. But we got the 7:30 crazy. We need to break this thing up a little bit. So when we come back, I've got that 7:30 crazy for you, and I want to know if you think my story is 7:30 crazy or not. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back.
cross your leg. Oh, that's too much. That's too much.
Anytime it's
You know what?
Stop, drop, shut him down, open up, shut.
I'm following her lead. See, look.
Sean Harper.
Yo, it's Michael McFadden for our friends over at Credit Building Professionals. You know what they do? They help their clients achieve better credit. How? Late payments, fraud, liens, charge-offs, student loans. They do it all. Get results in 30 to 90 days, and it's very simple to contact them. Hit them up on their website, creditbuildingprofessionals.com, or give them a call, 678-447-2012. Once again, 678-447-2012. Tell them you heard it on Power 108.9. What up, Credit Craig?
And here we go.
Call me crazy one more time.
Laughing while he does it. He turns to me and he says,
Why so serious?
Boy, you so crazy.
this station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
You ain't seen no sign of him being crazy, deranged.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. And y'all know it is time for that 7:30 crazy. And if you're just tuning in for the first time tonight, 7:30 used to be I think a code or something for the police back in the day when someone was really crazy out in those streets. It's an urban term now in relationships. You know, someone's acting a little 7:30 crazy. Sometimes these stories are about relationships. Sometimes they're not. But here we go. This is from Fox News. A North Carolina man was charged with impersonating a police officer after he allegedly joined the real deal in chasing down and seemingly arresting a murder suspect last month. David Adams, 30, was taken into custody Wednesday in connection with an incident that unfolded around 11 p.m. on October 5th when officers stopped 5 people in a car outside a grocery store and believed one of the vehicle occupants was a murder suspect. When officers approached the vehicle, however, the car took off. The cops chased the vehicle for a couple of miles. Later identified as Adams, driving a black Ford Taurus with blue lights. Where those blue lights come from, sped past them and intervened, reportedly cornering the suspect's vehicle between his car and the pursuing officers. Adams allegedly ordered the driver out of the vehicle at gunpoint and handcuffed him. Wilson Police Department officers weren't sure who Adams was or if he was law enforcement, so they ordered him to stop searching the suspect. The 30-year-old eventually left the scene, but on Wednesday was charged with impersonating a law enforcement officer. Online arrest records indicate the 5 people inside the vehicle that Adams helped stop were also reportedly arrested by actual police officers on various charges. Okay. Natalie, is that 7:30 crazy?
Certified.
Certified. Okay, that is 7:30 crazy. You could have been hurt, first of all. And second, no. And I'm not even going to take this to Black Lives Matters, but y'all know where that could go. Okay? So, no, you're not the police. If you want to be the police, go to the academy and go through the whole process, be the police. Other than that, go home. How about that? Okay? So, in my opinion, that's 7:30 crazy. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Natalie. Hey, guys, at Winter, come on. Winter, come on. Let's have some conversation. I would love to have conversation with you. Okay. All right. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back.
If you're a content creator, social media socialite, influencer, or simply love to record current events, you need the joystick. The joystick
Winter
is an
is not
essential
talking
tool
to
for
any
every
of
type
us.
of digital content creator.
No,
It holds
seriously,
2 or
people
more
have
mobile phones or
serious
tablets,
trauma.
allowing users to
I can't
stream
help
and
you,
record
Winter.
hands-free on multiple
Summer,
apps
spring,
simultaneously.
fall.
And it's lightweight and portable. For more information or to purchase a, visit our website at www.joystick.com.
This is
And
your
now she
new
got
favorite
another
internet
one in
radio.
there. No means
Power
no. No means no.
108.9.
No means no.
You want to answer that, don't you?
Yeah.
I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft glow just inches away. Someone wants to tell you something or ask you
You
something.
know you're helping my algorithms,
Oh,
right?
come on.
Every time
Answer
you
it
post,
already.
you're helping my algorithms.
Just so we're clear, that wasn't my fault. Next time, ignore your inner voice. Don't text and drive.
Stay up on what's happening here at Power. We've got new shows, new guests, and new events that help us connect with the community. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Power 108.9. You can also go to power1089.com to get all of the updated news and happenings here at Power. Thanks for listening.
Hold on, let me call Gail King and ask her why she interviewed R. Kelly for his debate. Hold on, let me ask the professional. I mean,
I ain't got that kind of time. Hey, Roderick.
hey Sharon, what's up, girl?
And just FYI, Eddie chimed in and said, Buddy went full vigilante. WTF, talking about your 7:30 crazy. That's what Eddie said.
Miss you, Eddie.
You know, Eddie listening.
Beverly
Don't say
Hills
that.
Cop.
Yes, we miss him.
Don't say that.
Baby brother.
Don't say that. He gonna think. See, you know what RJ already did, right? I tell you about that conversation. Yeah, I'm putting it on air.
What she do?
Her first show. Before her first show, she was like, "So, are you gonna be engineering my show?" I was like,
What you mean? What you mean?
"Yeah, because Eddie." And I was like, "Oh, so you don't want me? You want Eddie? That's fine. Whatever. The hell with you and Eddie, RJ."
You know what?
Yeah, I said it. Eddie's the nice one. You heard me, Natalie? Eddie's the nice one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the nice one. You ready, Charlie?
Yes. Yes, Sean. Agreed.
It is sad, isn't it? People are hurting.
I'm ready.
My mind's telling me no.
You know what? You so trifling.
Foul on the play.
Oh, y'all should have heard what Michael just played.
Don't even play Dakota. You know I don't look like no man.
No, she does not.
I can't.
Stop it.
Oh, my
You know, come on.
No,
Stop playing.
just kidding with that one. Hold on.
Yeah, Nita, you gotta pray. You got to pray just
got
to
to
make
pray. I was about
it
to
today.
say the
I
same
say we pray.
Kenan, I need to talk to you. I need PNC to sponsor something for me. Okay?
You ready, sister?
You ready? Welcome back. You're listening to the Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. Hopefully y'all heard that. That's 7:30 crazy, but we're gonna get right back into this business. And hey, Natalie folks. I do want to hear from you guys. I want to address some of your concerns. But I need to hear questions. And I'm more than happy to discuss them because I don't agree with everything. So I want to be a voice for you guys as well. But okay, I want to go back to what we were talking about before the 7:30 crazy. Being, in your line of work. Okay, so no, you're not responsible for, you had your intent for the initial post, but when you saw how it was received, why you don't feel remorseful or apologetic or understanding to the point where you would pull back, maybe delete the post, redo, or not keep posting because you posted other things that could kind of dig even deeper into what they were already feeling. Can you please elaborate on your on your stance with that?
Yes, I absolutely can. So my line of work is that which I am completely clear on what my qualifications are.
That part.
And what I have the ability to or not to handle or discuss.
Okay, please.
And
explain.
what I mean by that is there is a difference between a counselor, a therapist, and a coach.
Okay.
I never ever said that I was anything other than what I am. And I never even brought that up. I never said, as a coach,
right.
I'm here to tell you, go sleep with your husband. I never, ever, ever said that, right? But I do understand this is my profession. And a coach, which is the only thing I can speak on, is one who you have a goal that you want to accomplish. There's something that you want.
Okay.
Or you're here and you want to get there, and I help you get there. Right? And so when you start to interact with me, first of all, this was my conversation.
Okay.
I did not come to you pushing what I was saying on you. You responded to a conversation that I was having, which was a question which invited you into the conversation. And so when there is a question, then you either respond one of two ways. One is with a question to get clarity, or with a response.
Okay.
And that's not what happened. So people were coming at me. And so I asked questions to get clarity on what it is we were talking about.
Okay, so that I know, but it goes back to what I was saying when I said it's almost like sending a text message when you're in your feelings and it comes off the wrong way. I remember one time I texted a friend, I shortened the word message.
To mess?
Yeah. And but I put a period there, mess. But I didn't know that she thought I was saying, I got your mess. I was like, I got your message, but I didn't know that she thought I was saying, I got your mess. I'll call you later,
But that's my whole point about healthy relationships is that if you were to say mess, I'd be like, question mark?
Right. What you mean?
What do you
communication.
mean? It's all about don't assume the worst.
Yes.
You assumed the extreme.
Right.
Because I never, ever stated anything. So you responding that way, I want to address the being more compassionate and things of that nature. First of all, I think I was really compassionate. They told me that I should kill myself.
Yes.
They told me, they said some really, really horrible things. And the only thing I responded was, why do you feel that way?
Yes.
You understand what I mean?
Yep.
So I did. I showed as much compassion as I possibly could.
Now, I will say, when I look at your responses, and from in the beginning, I don't know anything about direct messages. You don't got to send them to me. But I did read those, and you did promote clarification where needed. You did try to clarify where you were not coming from, which was I'm not speaking to people who are in abusive relationships or have been traumatized
Or booed up.
Or yeah.
I wasn't even talking to you.
Yeah. So I will say that part. Where I'm talking about having compassion was just removing it altogether.
No, because I am here to provoke the conversations that we need to have. And the inbox messages that's the most important part to me.
Okay.
Where people were coming and saying, here's what happened to me. What do I do? That post was for me. Thank you. Keep going. We need to talk about this. Those type of things. I understand that it's not a comfortable conversation.
Right.
But if 25,000 people are hurting to this degree, these are the people we drive with on our roads that are in traffic. These are the people that are in the supermarket. They send their kids to the same schools as us. We work with them. They come in and they shoot stuff up. Like, we all need to care about this issue.
Right.
And so it wasn't to back away from the issue. I never was in like a counseling session because I'm not a counselor. I'm a coach. So my responses are, listen, if you want to be healed, hit my inbox.
Right. Or like with my husband, who's a coach. You want to get in the game? This what you got to do.
This what you need to do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I of course I get it. As a coach, I get it as just on a simple level, not going deep levels of it all. Of course, our relationships are deep. Our personal experiences can be deep, but just on a simple plated level, nothing crazy going on at home, nothing crazy going on at home, just on a simple, level. I do agree on a simple level that, not degrading men or anything like that. It is your body, and if you want to use it on your husband, use it. But I also do understand how it could be interpreted from someone who has not healed from past trauma, past rape, past sexual assault, past abuse.
And so my response is, as a person who is in this profession that is here to help, because if you want to, you can really sit and think about it.
Yeah.
She's divorced. Why does she even care about healthy marriages? But that's not what they said. Who are you to say? I could really just be mad and bitter.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not.
Right.
My ex-husband's dope.
Right.
They're saying, you should think, why does she even care if she's divorced? So then the other thing is, if she's a coach and that's her thing is to help people, what does she mean when she says this?
Sure.
You get to decide what that looks like. But when you, as just a regular everyday person, want to turn to me and tell me what I should be saying, when you're not out here helping anyone, and on top of that, you're telling me that your relationships suck. You completely desensitize my ability to receive from you, and you're being nasty and aggressive and go kill yourself and all that.
Well, let me go back. Let me take it outside of the personal individuals. Let me go into some of the licensed therapists who have commented as well. There were a couple that I saw that were healthy disagreeers.
Yeah.
What would you say to, I think I can't remember the person's name, but basically they acknowledge what you do as a coach, and the benefits of both a life coach and a therapist. But they thought that even in your profession as a life coach, not, that you were claiming to be a licensed therapist or licensed counselor, that you should have more understanding of the repercussions that could come from a blanket statement such as that.
I should. You understand? It is my decision. It's my decision to make a statement understanding that here are the possible repercussions of it.
Did you think of the possible repercussions when you posted it?
I think of the the repercussions every time I open my mouth as Natalie Fikes. You understand what I'm saying? You understand?
Yes,
I've been
yes,
Natalie Fikes. Well, Natalie
well,
for a very, very long time.
Yes.
And I just have an anointing to piss people off. You understand? I am a disruptor. I have always been a disruptor.
Yes, you have. Yes,
you understand what I'm saying?
Not to me, but yes.
But I've
but you know what? I think about that. I think about our high school days, and we always vibed. There was never anything, but I'd remember just the disruption that you would stir by just being you. You weren't doing nothing. You weren't doing nothing else. But I want to read a statement from one of our listeners, Sean Harper. Hey, Sean. That's my class. Hey,
Sean.
He said, it's getting to a point to where if you even comment on a woman's appearance, it's sexual harassment or assault. Dare a man to compliment a lady on her appearance. You are now a sexual deviant. This will eventually become the decline of connectivity and love.
Snap.
I like that, Sean.
Snap.
But they ain't trying to hear you today.
No. Somebody posted today, and I thought
it was Sean.
It was really, really good, Sean. Right? And she said, when so many women have been violated by men, how dare you ask them to be sympathetic towards them in any type of way?
Oh gosh, that's so sad.
No, that really breaks my heart because I'm raising 2 boy children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, you cannot carry it's not fair.
Right.
It's not fair to want to be in relationship with someone out of 7 billion people on the planet chose you.
Right.
They're not the ones that raped you. I'm not the one that raped you. And I'm one of the dopest human beings to walk this earth. But because you choose to disagree with me, because you choose to misunderstand me, and because you choose to not communicate with me in a healthy way, you have missed the opportunity to connect with someone who is pretty freaking amazing, and therefore locking yourself into negative, unhealthy relationships.
Okay. So I want to ask you, you said men need sex, et cetera, et cetera. But what else, though? What else? I know there are healthy relationships where maybe the wife has pissed the husband off, and he's the one withholding. And so she can't use sex to reach him at all because he's not being heard. What is your response to that? So my point, in saying that into your initial post, and when it came to sex, when it came to the post where wives withholding, there are men who withhold as well.
Yes.
And my question, or clarification is, but what else though? Because you don't have to be in an abusive relationship. You don't have to be in just the dumps of the dumps to be like, I just don't want to do that with you until you hear me. And if it's the man, well, the woman definitely, because I was talking about this on the way here to a friend. I remember when I was with my ex-husband, and we were in counseling with a licensed therapist, and not that he was like, go have sex and be done with it. That's not what he's saying. He was just saying, try to be connect. But I could not. I could not. And in our marriage, sex was never a problem at all. But he did not understand me. He. Yeah, no.
He, the therapist, or he?
Oh, I was like, no, it wasn't a she. No, my ex-husband. I was like, yes, a he. But no, my ex-husband, he did not understand me. He wanted me to be a certain way, and that's not who I was. And then it turned into something abusive, and this makes me go back, and I know I'm kind of rambling, but it makes me think about those who call it rape, whereas he never balled his fist up to punch me in my face, but did he pick me up and body slam me? Yes. Did he put his forearm in my throat? Yes, he did. You know, did he try to control me? Yes, he did. You know, the only difference with me is that you just can't do that to me, you know, and I got to go. But sometimes it's hard to identify for some people like me to call it abuse, but it is, what it is. But, going back to what I was saying was, what if it's the man, that you can't use it?
So I'm a woman.
I am a woman. Let me clarify that.
And as a woman, I feel the need to empower us as women.
Okay.
Because I have been able to conquer the passive people pleasing.
Okay.
Right? And so I'm just speaking from that perspective. But my point is the same, is that when you get to a place where you are like, I just cannot, your relationship was over. It's when you stay past that point and you keep staying and staying and staying. I think abuse is inevitable at that point because you're fighting to get out of it. That's really what it's become. I don't want to be here. I don't know how to get out of this. I don't want to leave you because I don't want a broken home. I don't want to leave because I don't, whatever those things are playing in the background. But at the end of the day, you don't want to be intimate. You do not want to connect because we're done.
Okay, so that right there brings me to what people were saying that I forgot what they
that I'm saying to do it anyway.
No. It was a word, not a rapeologist, but a rape something.
Advocate.
Something like that, but it was a different word.
Yeah.
But basically, like you're blaming the person to be raped. So for instance, when you said
victim blaming,
something like that. Yeah. Basically, if you stayed past a certain point, abuse is inevitable. So they're saying that you're victim blaming.
Victim blaming.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Victim blaming. I want to talk about that somewhere when we come back. And we're also going to talk about, is Natalie Fikes qualified? But we're going to get into all of that when we come back. But first, when we come back at the top of the hour, we might be already there already. I don't know. But at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, we've got What Would Sin Say? You all sent me some messages to my inbox, and we're going to answer them. When we come back, you're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back. Did it change when I moved though?
Alisa, I'll get you caught up, Alisa.
Do me a favor, slide over some more.
Which part? Me or the phone?
The phone, slide over to your right. No, I would put the headphones on. I want you to put the headphones on so you can hear.
Hey, y'all call in. Y'all
You hear it?
chime in.
A little bit, not as much as when it was here.
What's the number again?
Hold on.
Oh, 678-383-2339. But they don't, Sean. That's the thing.
There you go.
They don't. You laughing at me?
Yes.
Because he was like, they need people who are hurt need to heal before being, in relationships. But they don't.
That's the whole point.
Oh, it's 6. Let me see if I know how you type. There you
I
go.
know,
That's
Elisa.
it. No, I was trying to figure out how to type on my messages.
The number,
Yes, that's the number, Lydia.
the number is 678
Exactly. 383
383
2339.
2339.
We screening y'all calls now. Don't be acting great.
Somebody got a base.
A who? Oh, a charger? You about to go dead?
Yeah, but I have my charger. I need the base, not the cord.
Oh, the base. Like when you plug into an outlet. That's
But
what
see,
it's
if
called.
you ask for clarity and not just think I'm a flaming idiot, which I do have
The
flaming idiot
base.
moments. No,
You need a jump.
A
I
jump
need the
jump.
box.
You need a box.
Just take that out of the box.
You need a jump jump.
Somebody's calling.
Uh-oh. I'm nervous.
She's like, what is going on?
Welcome back. You're listening to the Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. And you know what time it is? You look like you're struggling over there. You was over there shaking, trying to put that phone. Oh, a whole lot going on over there. But it is time for What Would Sin Say? But I think Sin and Natalie are going to answer these questions that we have from you all that you all sent to our inbox. And you can call in at any time the phone is blowing up. We're going to try to take your calls and all of that. We're waiting on Michael to get off the phone. But listen. Okay, so What Would Sin Say is you all send me your questions from Messenger, Instagram, inbox, my DMs, Facebook, all of that. And I try to answer them if we can. And we about to do that. Give me them damn questions. You're going to have to not answer. Y'all calling, messing up my segment. Okay.
That's
You're
y'all
have to
fault.
give them the busy signal.
Sis, hold on 1 second. All right, we coming to you. Hold on.
Okay.
You heard me cussing them out. Hold on. Damn it.
All right, what we got?
All right, so what would Sin say? First question. What is an alternative to saying no to your man when you are not in the mood to do the oochie coochie?
Well, what I say to mine is the morning okay?
That's good.
I'll be like, how about the morning?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, and he will wait.
He ain't sleeping.
I
He
swear-
on night watch.
I swear he be knocked out snoring any other night. But that night I say, how about just wake me up in the morning? He up,
Right.
awake. All right.
Everybody needs some pineapples. You know, like you need to decide what that is.
Okay.
So, because no is very dismissive.
Sure.
It's a rejection. But if you come up with, a word,
word.
yeah, whatever your word is,
And what does the word mean? Like later, tomorrow?
whatever you decide.
Okay, whatever the definition of that
Yes.
word is. Okay.
All right, next question. Why would you choose to have a guest on your show that promotes rape and assault in marriage?
Who does that?
Oh, okay. We, if someone was on our show that promotes that, we would have them so that we could get them all the way together, okay? But I know this is my friend I've known for a very long time, and I believe that her message was misunderstood. Now, do I agree with carrying the message on? No, I don't. I don't agree with continuing posts and continuing this conversation on. I don't. But I know that she does not condone rape, sexual assault, or anything like that. And I wish that you guys would give her an opportunity. Actually read. I've actually read, everything and listened to the lives, and she didn't say that, and she doesn't promote it, but I understand the hurt. And so that is why I don't agree with carrying these conversations on over the last month.
As a man, I feel like the Me Too movement has gotten out of hand. Don't you think a lot of women are taking advantages of men with this when they should take responsibility for maybe being places they shouldn't, or even having motives that did not work in their favor?
Oh, he tried it. Okay. The Me Too, #Me Too movement is very, very real. Okay. Now, there's always going to be someone trying to get a paycheck or trying to do too much or whatever. But that Me Too movement is real. And guys, you have to stop trying to use your position to hold advancement over a woman's head, because if a man were to come into your office or into your presence, etc., and you thought that he had what it took, you would give him that opportunity. But if a woman, and don't let her be fine and all of that kind of stuff, fine to you, whatever fine is to you, all of a sudden you forget how qualified she is, and you want her to be able to prove herself in other kind of ways that are inappropriate, and you need to stop it.
All right, let's have some fun with the last question.
Okay.
What is your take on people living a plush lifestyle or portraying like a completely different life on social media, but because you know them and you know their life is completely opposite of what they show on social media and they're really unhappy, what do you do?
Nothing. You do absolutely nothing. Let them live. Let them live, okay? Now you know they wrong. You know they ain't happy. Their kids bad. The husband, the wife is probably not even home. But you just let them live. Whatever's gonna make them make it through the day.
Yes.
Like on a real note, stop. Just stop minding everybody. You know you got things that you got to handle at home too. Just stop it. Yeah, you know their business, but forget about it, because everybody got something going on. That's the way they choose to deal with it. So leave them alone. That is what would Sin say. What you got?
If they want you to answer those questions, how do they do that?
Say what now?
If they want you to answer their questions, how do they do that?
If you want me to answer your question on what would Sin say, send me a DM, and it needs to be a question that's appropriate. Now, you know, I got a husband, I got kids, all of that.
Come on, we got callers online, girl. Come on.
All right, we're going to answer all these calls when we come back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back.
This is your new favorite internet.
Can you take care of your guest?
Power 108.9.
I'm a guest
wanna
in
answer
your
that,
house for
don't
her
they?
show in it.
I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft glow just
You did
inches
not quiver.
away.
You did not quiver.
Someone wants to tell you something or ask you something.
I just need a base.
Oh, come on. Answer it already. Just so we're clear, that wasn't my fault. Next time, ignore your inner voice. Don't text and drive.
Stay up on what's happening here at Power. We've got new shows, new guests, and new events that help us connect with the community. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Power 108.9. You can also go to power1089.com to get all of the updated news and happenings here at Power. Thanks for listening.
I can't because it won't stay on joystick. Sure.
You need a joystick.
Yes, that's what she needs.
Falling apart.
Don't get me. I'm not okay.
You're not.
Check on your radio host.
Thank you for taking such good care of me as not your guest. Whatever that is.
I'm about to answer somebody's call.
What happened? Somebody on the phone?
Did they all hang up? How many whole buttons you got?
She said I can't hold forever. Is that Elisa? Alyssa?
Oh, goodness. Maybe you need to write down
Amani.
their question. Maybe you need to write down their name and
Hold
question.
on, Elisa.
I'm ready.
This is not working.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. We have been having some great conversation, and thank you so much for those of you who have put in your comments, put in your questions. You guys are really participating tonight in some very necessary conversation. Wouldn't you say, Natalie? All right, so listen, you guys were calling in when we were doing our What Would Sin Say? But you can call back in at 678-383-2339. 678-383-2339. You can call back right now. But we got a caller on the line. Who's on the line? Who? Hey, Amani.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am doing triumphant on a Thursday.
I know that's right. What question you got, or what you got to say?
Well, I just want to, we talked about the original post, and it was about wives and having that conversation in a good, healthy relationship. And I think a lot of the people who are commenting, whether positively or negatively, or don't have the comprehension, aren't in that situation. So I wanted to be, somewhat of a voice.
Okay.
And an example, because I am a person who believes in being a owner and not a victim of a situation.
Sure.
Because I've been abused, I've been through unhealthy relationships, I've been through all of that. And now I'm in a very healthy place, in a very healthy relationship, and I have to agree with what Natalie Fikes said about, being heard and having, even in the relationship that I'm in, I'm not married yet, but we're in a committed monogamous relationship.
Okay.
And there are times, because right now it's funny because I'm pregnant.
Okay.
And there's times where I don't want to. But it's not just I just don't want to. I'm in the mood. I have hormonal changes, and
sure.
I know I commented before about different health concerns and things like that. But when you are in a relationship, it's a lot different from being single and booed up and just saying I can do whatever when I want to, because now you're thinking about us in a partnership, in a healthy relationship. So there are times where you do things to make your partner happy, and because making your partner happy makes you happy.
That's right.
And so, but that's coming from a healthy side. So there's a lot of people who are not even having the conversation and are making comments. And, if I haven't read the 4 agreements about taking things personal, it'll upset me, because I do know Natalie Fikes personally.
Absolutely.
And so,
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in and giving that feedback. We need that. Thank you so much. Okay, do we have anybody else? All right, so listen, you all can keep calling in 678-383-2339, but I want to get into, you posted a live video in regards to I Am Human, right? I Am Human. And was that one based on was that the one where you were kind of addressing whether or not were qualified? There was one of these posts or something like that. What was I Am Human about?
Because I had 25,000 people in my house that didn't know who I was.
Okay.
And so that was, let me just help you process what's happening, because you're just going through my page. You don't know me.
Okay.
So let me tell you a little bit about myself to help you process if you choose to.
Okay. All right. Who we got on the phone? What did you say? No.
We have a caller on the line.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, I'm great. So I had a question for your guest.
Okay.
And I wanted to chime back a little bit about something that she said, and she said that abuse is inevitable.
Okay.
And I wanted to gain an understanding on that. Who sets that bar, and why does she believe that abuse is inevitable?
That's a good question, because I didn't agree with that statement as well. So, Natalie, take it over.
So, if you're familiar with Dr. Miles Monroe, he said when you don't know the purpose of a thing, then abuse is inevitable. So me saying abuse is not to be abused,
okay,
but the abuse of, if you don't understand what a relationship is, then the relationship will be abused. If you don't know what a marriage is, the marriage will be abused. If you don't know how to be a parent, then you will abuse the relationship, you know, with your children, whether it be communicative, whether, you know, when you don't know how something works,
right,
then you're going to mess it up. It's going to malfunction in some sort of way because you don't know how.
Absolutely. What my concern with when you made that statement was if you stay past, and it was, that comment was based off my story where that's who he was.
Yes.
You know, before staying past.
Yes.
You know. So that's what's like, okay, but that's, yes, I can understand if you stay past a certain point, you know, there's a possibility, not necessarily abuse, but that you be unhappy as hell, you know.
Well, well, I was quoting from what he was saying. And so my thing is, if the gas light comes on and you continue to drive and it says 25 miles and you decide to drive 35, then something is going to happen. It's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be peaceful. If you don't get your tires changed, then something is going to happen and it's not going to be positive.
Okay. So, what about, and I want you all to call in with this next question that I'm going to say, because I know you all had a lot of comments in this regard. So that number is 678-383-2339, 678-383-2339, where your comment or your explanation in that regard can be taken as you blaming the victim for their circumstance, which I do not believe is okay to make that kind of stance. So what are your feedback on that?
So if we're going to talk about healthy relationships.
Okay.
I always have to go back there. It's unhealthy. We're unhealthy because we continue to eat sugar and the doctor said we have diabetes.
Okay.
We're unhealthy because we stay too long. We're healthy because we leave too soon. We're unhealthy because we're not in alignment with what makes us and keeps us happy, healthy, whole. So it is our responsibility, because remember, I'm a coach, I'm empowerment, I am take life by your horns and live the life that you want to live.
Okay.
So from that perspective, that's how I respond.
All right. So I want you all to understand what she's saying. She's not coming from, let's identify the root of where this pain, this trauma, this scenario, you know, came from. This came from abuse in your childhood. This came from an abusive relationship. This came from an abandoned parent, you know, or anything like that. She's speaking from the perspective of you're in a healthy relationship, but et cetera, et cetera. So I want you all to know that. So listen, you all are live. You are live. I said you are alive. Yes, you are live and well. Okay. All right, listen. We have a caller on the line. You are live with Syndy B right now. Who's calling? Hello?
This is Elisa.
Hey, Elisa.
Hey.
What you got for
How
me?
you guys? Well, I've known Natalie a very, very long time, and I'm coming in on the tail end of this broadcast.
Okay.
And the whole
Sounded real New Yorkish.
Brooklyn.
all day. I'm just a little confused because I've been out of the country for 2 weeks. So I come back to all of this negativity and everything that's going on, but I can't find, and I even got on this broadcast late because I was doing something else. But anyway, so I'm wondering, like, what is going on? Because I know Natalie, I know her personally. I know, you know, from the beginning, her marriage, the whole situation, her kids, her family. Like, what? I know she doesn't condone rape. This I know. I can say this very strongly and adamantly. But
Right.
I don't know what is happening.
I know. Listen, Linda, you done missed a whole lot. I'm gonna need you to go to her, you know, her page and catch up, because we can't catch you up today. But, huh? Oh, but okay. So the first post, this was back in the beginning, you know, of October, and Natalie, tell her the first post that started this whole thing.
Wives, If you're not having sex with your husband, they're too backed up to hear you. Their penis and their ears run on the same Wi-Fi. If you want to be heard, you know what to do.
Okay, did you hear that?
I did. I heard that.
So that was that. And everything was fine until it got posted to a group. And then all of a sudden, people took it as where she was condoning rape and sexual assault in marriage. And then it went ham from then on. Okay. So listen, I want you to make sure you visit her page and kind of, catch up on that. And keep on calling in. Keep on calling in. You can call in at 678-383-2339, 678-383-2339. You are listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9, and we'll be right back.
He said, bruh said, what's the password? Because he said that. He said, what's the password? I can't see me in the video.
All cut off and stuff. How did you have something? You had it different before. You've been doing it different on my show lately, and I don't appreciate it. Go on. Yeah. Tell them.
Can you help your guest, please? Because the hospital. Stop changing stuff. The hospitality. No, I do. So should I just shut it off now, or is it your intentions to assist me? Okay. Just wanted to let you know I have 5%.
Y'all can call in 678-383-2339. Phone is blowing
They
up.
can't call in if they're not engaged.
Thank you. That's what I like from now on. That's how you...
The ball is in your court.
We still got time. We're at like 8:30.
4%.
Why you talking? It's real intense. I still got some questions for her. I'm nervous because I know her in real life.
It's all good. 4%. No, my stepfather used to cut the cord of my television because he would take it and then I would jimmy his lock and go take it back. And then he started to cut the cord. Still 4%. I used to get beat with that, by the way. So.
You know what? I think I did one time. Thank you, Lord.
I want to take this opportunity to thank you because you didn't have to do it, but you did. Using on time host.
Huh?
But you know it going forward now because you communicated. But you don't have to respond to her response. But you don't have to respond to her response. She could be menstruating. It's not about fault, but it's not about fault. Do you want peace? Because peace is a choice. got a charger, Liz. Thank you.
I bailed her out, ladies and gentlemen. I got the old school extension cord.
Oh, I don't like looking at that extension cord.
Hold on, the crazy part about it is when I pulled that extension cord out, I just thought I was going to beat it.
No, I didn't think. I was just letting you know that I was beat by it. So if you were to lunge at me.
Let me see some of the people.
Nothing but death. Peace is a choice. Absolutely, Liz.
I'm standing up now. Let's go. Hey, Lydia, learn how to spell, Lydia. You got a call on the line, okay?
All right, we're gonna come back and start in with them. Right?
Yep.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. And I cannot thank y'all enough for your participation tonight, because tonight's conversation is very, very necessary. And I wanted to just, all the uncomfortableness, okay? I wanted to get all in it. I'm uncomfortable too, because that's my friend. And sometimes when you disagree, you don't know how. You know how it's going to go. But we two healthy individuals. We know how to disagree. Okay, but we got a caller on the line. You are live with Syndy B. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Liz.
Hey, Liz. How are you?
I'm good. Natalie, how are you doing?
I'm super fantastic, Liz. Thank you so much for calling in.
Yeah, so we need to clarify a couple of things here, right? Because I have a feeling that people need a little bit of reading comprehension on your Facebook wall.
Let's preach.
Yep. Okay. So, first of all, please get your social media person to start blocking those people, because they're just not adding to the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Second, let's get it clear right here, right now.
Yes. Go ahead, Liz.
Between a man and a woman, we're using a heterosexual relationship.
Okay.
Or any relationship, actually, we can say, whether it's gay, lesbian, bisexual, whatever it is. Are you saying that if one of the partners chooses to not have sex with their partner, are you advocating that the other partner is okay to rape them?
No, absolutely not.
Thank you. Thank you. So I want everybody listening to Natalie's.
No means no. You should have consent, whether you are married or in a relationship, or whether it's a one-night stand, a booty call, a rest stop situation. There should be consent.
Exactly. So everyone listening on Natalie's Facebook page, hear what she just said. She is not consenting. She's not stating that rape is okay. No means no.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, next question. I'm getting so annoyed by the people on your page. You have no idea.
Preach, Liz. Right. Preach.
So next question. What I got out of your statement was, and you know my background. You know that I, go to a more liberal viewpoint of life and things.
Yes.
So my question is that when you stated that women pay attention to your men, and if they're asking for sex and you're not giving it to them, they are going to go someplace else. Now, I know that for a fact for other relationships that I've seen. But you're not necessarily advocating for men to go have sex someplace else. But women, pay attention if you're withholding, correct? correct?
Yeah, so I actually don't. I know men who are not getting sex that will not cheat on their wives. So I am in no way advocating that I don't even believe they're going to inevitably, because I know a lot of guys who are they're just not going to cheat on their wives. So I don't even come from that space. But I am saying that if you are the only one that can give it to him, because in a monogamous, healthy marriage, then those are the rules, then you have got to take into consideration that you're not feeding him. He's hungry and he's going out there where other people may want to give him something to eat.
Thank you so much, Liz. You really brought some clarification there, some conversation that needed to be had, even though she did have it. But we wanted to make sure we brought it here on Power 108.9, The Unbroken Experience. So thank you so much, Liz, for calling in and participating. But, Miss Natalie, I want to get into this. Ooh, when I was writing this down, I was like, oh, my friend. All right, but we're going to start off simple. We talked about it briefly, but is Natalie qualified? Because I saw some of these comments like, oh, some were just off the chain, like, oh, that's something to do. Where you chose, sis, he left you. He left you. Even though.
Shout out to my ex-husband.
Hey, shout out. Hey. We know, and you've expressed it on various platforms on Facebook, that was not the scenario, where he just was like, you the worst, goodbye. That was not the scenario. But with that said, being divorced and not remarried or not in a relationship now, are you qualified, Miss Natalie Fikes, to be giving advice to wives?
Yeah, so my thing is, I got divorced so nobody else will ever have to.
Okay.
Right?
Explain.
So the difference is while I believe that, first of all, we're all necessary, right? There are just some people who don't eat horseradish. You know what I mean? It's not the typical, but some people do.
Sure.
Yeah. And so I'm just another cereal box or another condiment option out there for people, And so I'm saying that I can tell you why you should give it 100% and not just hit the divorce button.
Okay.
I can tell you why you should. There's some things that I didn't do because I didn't know and I didn't have the tools that I learned after the fact.
Sure.
That you don't have to go through that experience.
Okay. So I agree. I always say, in my first marriage, I do feel like when, at that point in time that I did, I was the best wife, all of that. But I always say that I didn't have the backbone.
Yeah.
Back then, I didn't have the backbone to withstand a marriage, at that point in time. So I left, right? Now, that's not saying that you should stay through certain times or that you shouldn't stay.
Right.
It's what works for you, what you decide, at that point in time. I look at my parents who survived and, they lived their best lives. You would think they just got together. They are just like lovey-dovey for the last who knows how many years. But they had their challenges in the beginning. And I don't think that I could have made it through that then. I know that I can make it through it now, but it's because I know who my husband is and I know how he feels about us as a family and me as an individual, as a wife and as a woman. But with that said, can you teach a couple to remain together if you never remained in a marriage yourself, to understand the different challenges that a marriage can go through when they've gone through certain things or they've gone through a certain number of years together?
That is an awesome question. And so my answer is yes.
Okay.
Because what I've learned, especially as being a parent, is that, and being in business, is that marriage is all about commitment.
Okay.
And what I've learned is that I used to be a runner.
Yes.
Period. And I was literally a runner.
Okay.
The fastest. You understand?
Blowing them all out.
All the way out.
Just don't even race against her.
Don't race me.
Yes.
And so, but that's how I lived my life. I never never stood in anything, and it was because I was always moving. Nothing lasted for me, so I didn't expect anything to last.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people that come from that. And I'm saying that if you sit still, that you actually will see that you're running away from something you know into the abyss,
right?
That you don't know. And again, I'm talking about a healthy relationship, right?
Right.
Because that's what I came from. I didn't leave my husband because there was infidelity, because there was anything. It was just, I was like, hey, we were cool, and now this whole marriage thing, I just want my friend.
Right,
Can we just be friends?
Right.
And it was like, it was worth the relationship, and I'm so glad I did, because I started to look at him like.
Why was it worth the relationship?
Because I take responsibility for my part. I say I did a live called "Are You Suitable?"
Okay.
I wasn't suitable for him. I just wasn't what he needed and what he required, and I wasn't willing to do the work.
That's the thing. Because you probably were what he needed.
I wasn't willing to do the work.
You weren't willing to do the work.
I wasn't willing to do the work. I was willing to be his friend, but I wasn't willing to do the work to remain as his wife. So I felt that he deserved to be with someone who would do the work.
Do you think that was an excuse to get out?
Well, he was a check in the box. He really,
because I say that, I'm laughing when I say that, because and I'll get back to you, but I remember. When I was in my marriage before, I had the idea like I need to be married, like this, like I ain't trying to be out in these streets. And even though we had the chemistry, we had all of that, I knew going into the marriage that at some point I would leave him. You knew you would leave him? Yes, I did. I did. And so at that point in time, I thought every man cheat. So I was like, I'll just wait for him to cheat. But he wasn't cheating no time soon. He was not cheating anytime soon. And so the reason why I stayed in an abusive relationship, and like I said, we have to get better. And even myself at calling abuse what it is. Because no, he never smacked me in my face, punched me in my face, but he definitely did. Body slam, all of that. Pick me up against the wall, all of that. It's hard for me to say that because I don't have those, I didn't have those marks on my face and things like that. But I stayed in it so long because I felt like it wasn't abuse to that level. So let me stay so I can stack it up and have a legitimate reason
why you
for leaving a marriage.
Yes,
Syndy,
yes, deep.
I'm sorry, there was a question came in. I'm not sure the context of it, but
Okay.
does Natalie think that her work is done on herself? I don't know if I missed that question.
Absolutely.
But can I pause that
not.
question? Who said that? What's the name? Okay, we won't ask that, but I'm going to pause that question. Whoever asked that question, I'm going to pause that question because there is something that I want to bring up later that kind of goes into that.
Okay.
So what was it? Work done on self.
Do I feel that the work is done?
Okay. So I'm going to bring that up because that is something that
Okay, they correct. They said believe.
Right.
Believe.
Right.
Does Natalie believe that her work is done on herself?
But before we go to break, real quick, do you think that that was an excuse for you to leave your marriage?
I don't need excuses. I made a decision. I really made a decision.
Okay, but did you was that your validation? Was that your justification?
No, my husband and I went through 2.5 separations.
Okay.
I left because it was him.
Okay.
Sat with myself. Oh, I played a part.
Okay.
Went back.
Okay.
You sat with myself.
Okay.
Oh. And then it was like, wait a minute. Okay. We're just not.
It
ain't it.
Okay. So listen, when we come back, I want you all to call in because I know you all have questions. You type. That's where that Kermit the Frog came in. typing away. The number is 678-383-2339. 678-383-2339. When we come back, Natalie made a comment talking about or responding or something like that. When it comes to if you're a man, I guess, or wife too, your husband or wife has a high sex drive, you are obligated to accommodate that sex drive. I don't agree. We're going to talk about that when we come back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. And we'll be right back.
Yes.
Internet radio. Power 108.9.
If you want it in the morning or the middle of the night, I ain't too proud to beg.
I did my homework tonight.
Yes, you did.
I was like, oh, she said
Someone wants to tell you something or ask you something. Oh, come on.
Did I say obligated? I said obligated. Yeah, I believe that. I do believe.
You know what? You're right.
I really know myself.
Next time, ignore your intervals. Don't text and drive.
Yeah.
Stay up on what's happening here at Power.
Yeah.
We've got new shows, new guests, and new events that help us connect with the community. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Power 108.9. You can also go to power1089.com to get all of the updated news and happenings here at Power. Thanks for listening.
Where they, and then you're responsible for your lives. I saved a bunch of stuff. I was like, I wanna make sure I explore that more. And if something rubs me the wrong way, I don't know about that. I want to talk about it.
No, I appreciate what I love about this is the perfect demonstration of how to peacefully disagree. That's really the bottom line, is that you can't fault me for not being in that type of relationship, and I don't blame you for being in that relationship, but we can talk about a topic and disagree and move on and
promote understanding, promote perspectives,
and because peace is a choice, and you have to want the relationship, and you have to want to just, and I think I don't have a need to be heard. I don't have a need to be right. I like you, and I want our relationship to continue. and the more I know about you, the more I know how to move with you. I think I count it a privilege when people share their experiences. Like, people hold stuff and you never know anything about them. Right. So when you share that it was a deep experience, I'm like, I can't not. Like, if you use that and then I behave a certain way, I would expect you to be like, you know how hard it is for people to share stuff, and you totally, it's a big deal to me. Relationships really, really matter to me.
Yeah, same here.
Whoever that was that just called, call back.
If you called, call back.
If you called, call back. It's blurry, but I can see a little bit. I mean, not that, but I can see it when you say that. Oh, it said that was a lie? Okay, answer that.
Looking to start your own radio show? Or maybe you'd like to be a guest on one of our current shows. You may even want to tell us what a great job we're doing or how we can do better. Simple solution. Email any requests, bookings, or suggestions to power108.9 at gmail.com. That's POWER108 period.
I'm married too.
Now let's get you back to the show.
I'm all the way married.
You know what?
Look, husband and wife is on here like I would never.
Yo, it's Michael McFadden for our friends over at Credit Building Professionals. You know what they do? They help their clients achieve better credit. How? Late payments, fraud, liens, charge-offs, student loans. They do it all. Get results in 30 to 90 days, and it's very simple to contact them. Hit them up on their website, creditbuildingprofessionals.com, or give them a call, 678-447-2012. Once again, 678-447-2012. Tell them you heard it on Power 108.9. What up, Credit Craig?
Out on purpose.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B on Power 108.9. This conversation tonight has been amazing, Miss Natalie. Fight.
I'll bring you the conversation. Yes, I will.
Thank you. But we got a caller on the line. You are live with Syndy B, who is calling.
This conversation tonight has been amazing.
Turn your phone down.
Oh,
we can't hear you.
Put the show on mute. Put the show on mute. Are you there?
yes, I am.
Okay, now we can hear you. How are you?
Okay. How are you, ladies and gentlemen? Hi, Nat.
Who's calling?
This is Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Hi.
Okay, what you got for us?
Hey, Lori.
Well, I did. I was one of the, what is that, Kermit the Frog typing and
sending
my messages. But Nat, on there, I did state that I had no idea what was going on. And I did like a crash, trying to read through what is going on. What is this all about?
Right.
And I noticed some of the screenshots of the responses that you made to others.
Right.
And I just wasn't clear because I know for sure, that what everybody is stating and calling a rapeologist and all of that victim blame and all that stuff. I know that's not you. So let me just say that, up front. But there was a response in particular that I saw, and it had something to do with, and again, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember, but all I saw was, you are poison.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you for bringing it up. I just wanted to know, can you clarify that? Because that was a little disturbing to me, and I was like, wow, that was so hard.
Oh, that doesn't even touch the surface. But yes, you are right. That is a comment that's very disturbing.
Yes, thank you so much for bringing up that comment. So there is I am 100% unapologetic about leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And this woman was not addressing me as a person. She was the voice for the community that she is over, right? She has thousands of women that listen to her. And she is calling me out my name. She is spewing all types of hate. She is, I'm talking some really crazy out your mind, you can't do this in real life in somebody's face type stuff. And she's a leader of a group.
Okay.
And I laid into her.
Okay.
And I won't delete the message, and I will repeat the message.
Yes.
That as a leader, you govern yourself accordingly.
Okay.
There's a certain type of way that you treat individuals as a leader because other people are watching you.
Right.
It is not okay to ever call anybody out their name because you disagree with what they're saying. On top of that, somebody reached out to her and asked her if she would have a civil conversation with me.
Yes.
And she absolutely said she would not talk to me. So if you are a person who has a strong point of view and you're leading other people and you will not come to the table like kings and queens, back in the day, they would be at war and the kings would come together in the middle. Nobody shot daggers in the back. Nobody did. They came, they had a conversation, and then they went back and said, hey, this is what it is.
Absolutely.
And because she was not able to do that, I called her out. You are poison. And you need to sit down until you get healed because you are leading people astray. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, that you do not have the right to lead people to try and heal yourself.
Now, I saw that conversation. I completely agree with you, in that regard. And, when you get upset, that Jamaican comes out.
You understand me? You know much things me want to tell the girl? Me want to tell her some things, But me sit down and me say, I am a leader. So this is the way I can handle you. But you see her? When me say she trigger me.
Listen.
Listen. Hold on.
If you all could see Natalie right now when she was speaking on that. So when you were addressing other people, it was very calm, very, understanding, very, you know that they were jumping off the deep end.
And they said some things.
Yes, they did. But it was different with her. It was different. And I didn't like that there was one person that you went on live with. I can't remember her name.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciated that she did that.
Yeah.
Because that's stepping up, whether you agree, whether you came to an agreement or not. I didn't watch the whole thing.
It's civil.
But it's civil. You laughed, she laughed, you know, and you're able to have a healthy conversation, adult conversation,
Yes.
right? And I didn't like that she was so adamant about this, right? Whatever this is, but so evil. It was evil.
It was evil.
And you had no intentions on coming to an understanding, whether you were trying to get your point understood, you know, or vice versa. But okay, so I want to talk about, and that was Lori, right? Lori?
Thanks for calling in, Lori.
Thank you so much for calling in, Lori. All right, so I want to talk about two things before this time is up, honey. All right. So you made a post about, or not a post, or maybe you were commenting, I can't remember. But if your husband or wife,
Shout out to the
I
wives.
actually do know some wives who have a high sex drive and the men can't keep up. If your spouse has a high sex drive, you are obligated to fulfill that appetite. Can you please explain?
Yes. Is this mic on?
I need it to be all the way on, okay?
So I come from healthy relationships
Mm-hmm.
and starting from where you should have these conversations.
Okay.
And in the beginning, there are conversations that need to be had about, you know, how many times do you think is realistic for you to be able to get it? Because what we don't want to take into consideration is the history of the person that we are committing our lives to.
Mm-hmm.
So if he was used to having 3 girls at one time, or if he was used to doing it in the morning, in the middle of the night, he needed for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but he's taken himself out of the pool of options and now saying, this is all on you, baby.
It's a no for me.
No. But you have to be willing to say, listen.
First of all, it took 3, 4, 5 women to satisfy that. So you shouldn't be trying to settle down with one person.
But he shouldn't. But if you, knowing in a conscious mind, understand that
damn sense,
listen, if you look at that horse, if you look at the horse, right? Because I've had some women say, it's just too big. Did you know it was too big before you signed a lifetime contract on it? Or is it too big now because you done had 2 or 3 kids and now you want it to be smaller? It was big when you bought it.
I don't know about that part, but
no, I go into some homes and I hear some things and they're like, Natalie, you should see it. I'm like,
I don't want to.
I don't want to see it. And he's like, this how you met me. What do you say? He's like, what you want me to do? Shrink my penis?
Right.
How do I shrink my penis?
No, I get that part, but I'm thinking about, okay, so this is, you know how people say a lot that, you know, you had more sex when you're single. But it might be true, but it took a lot of money and it took a lot of time and it took a lot of effort for you to have the kind of sex in your single life. So for instance, unless you like, you know, some kind of celebrity or something, like you just got girls throwing themselves at you or something like that. Let's just take the average person, right? Let's say that you're having sex 2-3 times a week with 1 to 3 different women. But you done took somebody to dinner and spent $200. You done took somebody to breakfast, maybe spent $30-$40. You done spent somebody to breakfast,
cheap.
Starbucks.
That's cheap.
Y'all better teach y'all sons. Take them women to breakfast, okay, to figure out who they are first. But let's just say, you know, because dinner is expensive. You took me out for dinner. That's expensive because I like expensive wine.
I'm sorry, Syndy. Newsflash. Ladies are not tricking for $30 dinners no more.
No, I didn't say $30.
They asking you
$30 breakfast.
They're not tricking for $30 breakfasts.
They're not trying to go to no coffee?
No. Coffee?
They're
you better cash at me to confirm our date.
Yes, you are paying a bill.
I don't know nothing about that.
You are paying a bill.
Oh, they are like cash at me.
They done. Hey, mommy and daddy. Okay, so listen. So, in my opinion, you put in money, work, and effort to have sex that amount of times per week as a single person. So if you want that in your marriage, you got to put in the same amount of money, work, and effort to get that. All right.
So that should be that should be the communication. It shouldn't be, no, you're asking for it too much.
Okay.
You should say, if that's what you want, you are working at a 1 night a week minimum wage level.
Okay. Listen. So, quick hands.
Oh, that girl good.
So like even I remember my husband coming to me one time. He wanted to up the ante per week. Okay. He wanted to up the ante, and I was like, and I'm a very communicative kind of person. So I said, okay, now I'm going to say this. I don't feel bad for 1 to 2 times a week because I don't receive the flowers that I expect from me.
Yeah.
You know, like it was that kind of, so I don't feel bad for not upping the ante. Now, I mean, I'll give it a go, you know, but if I don't meet that criteria, I'm not going to feel bad about that because there's certain expectations that you already knew that I'm not receiving. Yeah. And I'm cool with that. Yeah. Like, I'm cool with that.
So I'm performing at that cool with that level.
You know. So I communicate with him, but because we about to be out of time, I want to make sure I address the question. The question was, do I think or someone think that all the work has been done on you? I'm going to let you answer that first, and then I want to bring up a concern that I had with watching some of your lives.
Okay. So the work on me is absolutely not done. The only time it will be done is when I am dead, because I am constantly working on myself every single day. But the one thing I will not apologize for is what I'm good at and what I know. I am really, really good at relationships, and I'm really, really good at parenting. And I will not ever apologize for mastering overcoming domestic violence and as a child, verbal abuse, physical abuse, and not repeating that, raising healthy children. I know what I am good at, and those are the only things that I speak on, which is what I implore leaders to do, because I'm not trying to coach in an area where I am broken. I coach from an unbroken place.
# unbroken experience. Okay, I hate that I'm bringing this up at the end of the hour, because it was something that bothered me.
Yes.
Or it bothered me.
Yes.
Just to, not even trying to find another word. I was watching one of your live videos. I think it was the I Am Human one, and you mentioned, just as for your listeners to get to know you, and you mentioned that you were chronically fondled.
Yes.
And to me, that's a conversation another day, because it could be a long conversation. To me, I felt like you were in denial that you were molested.
I'm not in denial that the behavior was absolutely a violation of what should have been done. It's just I'm not in denial about the terrible things that happen.
Would you call it molestation?
It's absolutely molestation.
Okay.
Yeah, it's molestation.
That was my only
It was just
thing.
my choice of words,
Gotcha.
but it's definitely there were some really inappropriate things that were taking place. So when I say chronically fondled, it was to equate that the act wasn't played out. It was just always touch, always touch, always touch, type of thing. Yeah.
So that was one of the things that I wanted to
Great
make
observation.
Sure. Yeah, because I was like, no, we got to call it what it is.
Yeah.
So that people are listening, young girls or whatever, because you were young, that they know this is not okay.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I will, going forward, say molested so that they're very clear on what that is. Thank you.
And so listen, please tell them where they can find you on social media.
You can find me You could find me anywhere. NatalieFikes.com. I'm trending. You can find me, Natalie Fikes, anywhere. And just follow your nose. Follow wherever there's goodness, wherever there's healthy communication. Remember that healthy begins with heal. And find me there. That's where I'm at. Natalie Fikes.
Bam. And I'm going to close with my little last 2 cents. I do think you should take it all down and shut it all down. And we're going to talk about that offline. But shut it down, take it all down. But not everybody is your audience, and they are not your audience. And that is my opinion. We're going to talk about that some more. I didn't get a chance to talk about it more in depth with y'all, but I'll talk about it more with you. You are listening to The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B. You can find me on @TheCyndyB. Spell my name right, SYNDY. And at The Unbroken Experience. And make sure you tune in every Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. The Unbroken Experience with Syndy B. And I'll see you next week. Love y'all.